Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jo here. I hope you're all well and having a good day. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos. I do 3 a week, Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I will reply. And if you've not subscribed and you want to see more from me, then it'd be wonderful if you joined our family and friends. If you're returning, as always, my friends, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. I love you guys so much. And yeah, we'll get into today's video. So I wanted to make a flower display for the bottom of my cabinet in my bathroom, and I knew I was going to recycle a Pringles tub and use some gift wrap and then do a flower arrangement as well for it. So I'll show you how I made this and I'll move us over to the table so we can get into it. So I'm using a Pringles tub, or this is Asda's own version of Pringles. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to create a hole in the center of the tub. So I'm just measuring 3 centimeters from each end and marking with a pen. And this is how wide I want my hole to be. So I've just measured the length of it, and now I'm just going to cut a piece of card the width that I want but not the height. So I'm just going to measure out the width, and then I'm just going to cut a square that's longer than what I want so that I can mark it once I'm holding it on the tub. So I'm holding it in the center, and now I'm just going to use a pen to mark where I want to cut our card to the right size. And once I'm happy with the width, it's about 2.5 to 3 inches. I'm just going to mark that and then cut that. So this is the size of the hole that I'm going to be doing. So now I'm just going to place this on the can, and I'm just going to draw around the outside so I know where to cut. So once I've drew around the outside of our piece of card, I'm going to keep this piece of card because I'm going to need it again later on. And I'm just going to use a craft knife and cut out the center. So like I said, I'm going to keep this because I'm going to need it again in a bit. And now we're going to start to decorate the outside of the can or tin. So I'm going to use a piece of A4 white card, and I'm going to make sure that the joins are underneath the center that we cut out. So I'm just going to hold that in place. And while I'm holding it, I'm just going to feel where the square is that we've just cut out, and I'm just going to mark with a pen the corners. And now I'm going to take the piece of card that we kept before, and I'm going to draw around this where we've just put our marks and cut it out with a knife. So now we've got our hole in our cardboard, and again I'm still going to keep the piece of card that we used for our template because we'll need it later. But now that we've got our bit in the middle, I'm going to do the ends. So for the ends, I'm going to use a roll of sellotape. I want it to be just slightly bigger than the end of the tin, and I'm going to draw around the outside of the sellotape, and I'm just going to use some cardboard to do this. I'm using some cardboard that was on a microwave meal. I'm just going to cut this open and then draw my 2 circles on it and cut them out. So now we've got the 2 ends and we've got our section for the center. We can now decorate these. I'm going to be using some gift wrap that I got a while ago. I think I paid £1.99 for this. I think it's 3 meters. And now all I'm going to do is glue the pieces that we've cut out to the gift wrap and then cut round them. I'm going to only decorate one side of the piece of card, and then I'm going to decorate both the ends either side. So now that it's all decorated, we can start to glue this together. So I'm going to hold it on one side just in place. It doesn't matter about it being exactly in the center because we are going to be putting some edging around the holes, so you're not going to see the gaps. But I'm just going to hold it in one place and I'm just going to add some glue around the edge. And then I'm just going to stick that down. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. And just pop that in place. And then I'm going to do it around the edge of the piece of card and glue that completely down to the tin. Now that's in place, I'm going to stick the two ends on, one on each side. And now I'm going to start to decorate the edge. Before I'm putting the edge on, I'm going to put some oasis in the center. So all I'm going to do now is use the piece of card that we cut out at the beginning. I'm going to use a craft knife and I'm just going to hold this place on top of the oasis and I'm just going to mark where I need to cut. And then I'm going to cut this out to the size that I want. Make sure that it fits. I've cut a bit off the bottom as well because it was too tall. And now I'm just going to add some glue and then glue this in the center. Now for around the edges, I'm going to use some rope. I pay £1.99 for this and I get quite a lot for £1.99, and I'm going to use some black embroidery thread. You could use wool if you wanted, and I'm going to create some edging for our little display. So I'm just going to hold it in place around the edge, and once I've got the length that I want, so that it goes all the way around, I'm just going to cut this to size. I'm going to cut one exactly the same length. And now I'm going to cover the rope with the thread. So I'm just going to glue the two ends together. And then I'm just going to wrap the rope with the thread until I get to the other end, making sure that there's no gaps and it's nice and covered. Like so. So I've done them two pieces of rope, one for each side, and then I've also done some more as well. So I've got one for each side on the inside, then I've got one for around the center, and then I've done two to go around the edge of the card that we stuck on the end of the tin. So I'm just going to glue them in place. Working my way around all the edges. And then now they're in place. So to finish off, I've got some black beads. I've got 6 for the bottom and 1 for each end, and I'm just going to glue them in place. And then I'm going to glue 3 on each side of the tub at the bottom. And then to finish off the rope and the embroidery thread, I'm just going to use a black permanent marker, and I'm just going to cover over the ends of the rope so you can't see them. So I've decided I'm going to add a little bit more edging to each end of the tin just to finish it off. So I'm going to do the same as I did before, and I'm just going to do 2 sections around each end to finish that off. And now that's done, we can start to add our flowers. So I'm going to start off with a white rose in the centre. I'm only going to put 1 rose because they're quite large. So I'm just going to place that in the centre like so. I'm just going to take some of the leaves and put 1 on either side at the top. Then I'm going to add some more greenery. I'm just going to use a piece of this on each side. Then in the centre at the back, I'm going to add some more of the leaves off the roses, just 2 in the centre. Then I'm just going to use 2 bits of this lily of the valley on either side of the rose at the bottom at the front. And then I'm going to also add some of the leaves off the lily of the valley and just pop that around. And then to finish off, I'm just going to add a little bit of white gypsy grass, and it's done. So here it is finished. It's in my bathroom, it's underneath my cabinet, and this is where I wanted it to go. I wanted to do the black edging to match my metal frame that I've got, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. This is what it looks like from the side. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. I hope it's giving you some ideas. I will be back on Wednesday with a smaller project, and I will see you then, and then I'll be back on Friday with another one. So take care for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all soon. Love you loads. Bye.